Okay, now we're going to look at systems of linear inequalities. Here I'm going to show you by example how to go about this. Okay, so here's our example here in the green. I have two inequalities in this system. One is y is less than or equal to 3x minus 2. The second one is y is greater than x plus 4. What we're going to do to solve these graphically is treat it first like it's a system of equations. How did you do the graphic solving of equations in the same type of system? What we did was we just graphed each line one at a time. So that's what we'll do here. We're going to take each of these one at a time, and we're going to treat it as though it were an equation, just an equal sign. And let's get the lines. Those will be our border lines. They're very important. And then we'll worry about shading it afterwards. So for now, what we're going to do, and you'll see in red next to this, we're going to kind of pretend it's y is equal to 3x minus 2 and y is equal to x plus 4. So let's graph line 1 first. For 3x minus 2, what information are we given? Recall slope-intercept form. Right away we can see where our y-intercept is, looking at the constant term. That gives us the point 0b. So we have a starting point. And then of course the m, the coefficient attached to x, gives us our slope. Okay, our rise over run. So for equation 1, we have a y-intercept here of 0, negative 2. Let's plot the point 0 left or right, down 2. And so we're right on the y-axis, right there. Okay? Okay. All right. And then from that point, we're going to rise 3 and run 1, right? Rise over run. Rise 3 units, right? Let me kind of help you out here with another color. Use a gray for my rising and running. So we'll rise 1, 2, 3, and run 1 to right here. Okay, and what point is this? And by the way, let me label the y-intercept of 0, negative 2. Our new point is going to be what? From the origin, we count 1, 1. You're right there. Okay, let's go one more time. We'll rise 3, 1, 2, 3, run 1, right there. And now that we have those filled in, we can go ahead and put in our line. We'll draw in our line. For now, don't worry about whether you're going to use a dotted or a solid line. Whenever we get the lines up there, then we'll worry about that, okay, afterwards. Okay, so there is line 1 in the orange, and the orange line, let me go ahead and label it. So what do we get for our y-intercept? Immediately we should see that we can get a 0, 4 for a y-intercept, right? And for our slope, we have 1, right? 1, or we can say 1 over 1. Rise 1, run 1. Okay? So we want to start graphing. We want to start rising and running from the y-intercept, or whatever point you're given. Okay? So I'm going to go ahead and make the line, this one, a bright green. Okay? So we will first find our point 0, 4. We go 0 left to right, up 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And there is our y-intercept. Okay? All right. From there, I want to rise 1 and run 1. From this point, rise 1, run 1. Rise 1, run 1. Next, we want to go and have a look at our inequality symbols. So now we want to do this. Okay, we want to consider if we have a less than or a greater than sign, we're going to use a dashed line. Okay, a dashed line. If we have less than or equal to, greater than or equal to, we're going to use a solid line to include the line of the border. So now I'm going to just go back. I'm going to kind of get my little eraser, and I'm going to do the right thing for each of these lines here. Let's go back here now. And for equation 1, the orange, we have a less than or equal to. So we're going to leave the orange line solid. That one's good. For the second one, where we have y greater than x plus 4, we are going to use a dashed line. So what I'm going to do is just kind of go through and just make it into a dashed line by just kind of taking my eraser to it here and there. You're going to want to have these inequalities solved for y. Okay, so solve for y. So you can have it in the slope-intercept form for easy graphing, and then for this part. Since we have solved for y, we can use our inequalities literally. For example, for equation 1, it says that y is going to be less than that value. In other words, the y values that are below that line. So watch, in other words, I'm going to shade everything below line 1, okay? Here we go. Let me get a highlighter. I'm going to shade everything down here below line 1. Okay? Everything. Okay? And so watch, I might need to go extend those up here. So back to shading. Everything below the orange line gets shaded. We're not even looking at the green line yet, without regard to the green. Okay? So now, as far as the second one is concerned, okay, and by the way, I'm going to shade my first inequality with yellow because that's the yellow highlighted section. Okay, now for the second one, I'm going to get a blue highlighter, okay, and my y's that are greater than the line, that's where I want to shade that one. So we want to shade the second equation everywhere above the line. Okay, now you can already see where our zone, our solution area is going to be. It's the part that turned green, literally, because yellow and blue make green, right? So that is my solution zone. Let me go ahead and get my red pen, and I'll kind of try to surround it in red for you. So here, everything that's kind of inside of this little area here, this is my solution zone. Okay, so you take each inequality, graph the borderline first, then shade one thing at a time, one region at a time, and then the area, the small area that is shaded by both of your colors from both of your lines, that is the solution for this system. That's your intersection of your inequalities. Okay, just like for lines, that point of intersection would be the solution, right? Right here, if it was just a linear equation, we would just be looking at a point. But it's a linear inequality. For just one inequality, it's an interval. For two, we're looking at where do they combine? Where do these two regions meet up? That's the solution for your system. Okay? Alright, you guys, practice, okay? If you need some help, please let me know. I'm happy to help you guys. I hope this example has helped you, and even if it's helped you recall some of the other skills that we've learned recently. Okie doke, I'll talk to you guys soon. You have a great day.